If you have advice for Felicia, let us know at 601-995-1017. She's about to go on a first date with a guy. He wants to do something, and she does not think this is a first date activity.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not what you're thinking it is. She wrote to us, can y'all tell me if I'm being too picky? I met a guy on Hinge, and we've been talking for a few weeks, and there's been no red flags yet, so we decided to meet in person. For our first date, he wants to take me to the state fair.
Ooh.
I think the fair is cute if you've been together for a while, but how can I look cute with that as our first date? I don't need fair food and sweat all down my face and an outfit on a first date. My friends say I always do this, look for a reason not to date someone. I don't feel like it's unreasonable to ask we go somewhere else for a first date, but I'd love to know what y'all think. I don't think you'll love to know what I think. What do you think, Allison?
Well, I would like to say, first of all, Felicia, the weather is supposed to be a lot cooler, like if your date's tonight. So, like, you might not get as sweaty as you're thinking. And nobody says you have to eat the fair food on the fair first date. Like, so you could skip that. You could still look
What
cute.
is there to do if you're not eating the fair food?
Ride the rides, play the games,
All right.
do all that stuff. So if that changes your mind to where you don't want to cancel, like there's that. But I would say, because I do want to have my girls back, and I can understand that, she wants to be looking and feeling her best on a first date, and maybe she wouldn't be as comfortable with an outdoor date. That's okay. Maybe you don't tell him that. Maybe you don't send any potential red flags his way, and you just say, you know what, something came up this weekend. I'm going to have to reschedule, and you could do it next week. You could do it next weekend when the state fair is over, and now that is off the table
That's the
as a
worst
first
advice.
date.
That's the worst advice I've ever heard. I think you are much better off. And by the way, Felicia, never complain again about guys just want to hang out at their house all the time, because it's like guys can't win. He's trying to come up with like a creative kind of timely thing to do that'll be special for your first date, and you're poo-pooing it. So I say the only way you turn down this state fair first date is if you say, you know what? I had a really long week. I would much rather just come over and have a movie night at your apartment or house.
Oh, no.
No, I'm serious.
No.
Netflix and chill. Recommend the Netflix and chill. And then he won't, have his ego totally deflated because you're going to tell him that he came up with a bad idea for a first date.
Yeah, I never said tell him it was a bad idea. I'm just saying you could cancel the date. You could say someone came up this weekend. Let's reschedule. And then, pick a restaurant.
Something came up like a movie night at your apartment,
No.
bro. Felicia has a first date planned with a guy she's been talking to from Hinge. No red flags so far. She's very happy about this and says she wants to go on this first date and meet him in person. He has suggested taking her to the fair. And she's said that would be fine if it wasn't our first date, but how am I going to look cute for a first date at a fair? And I'm like, oh, high maintenance. This is crazy.
No, that's it. Listen, I understand wanting to feel your best on a first date. You want to make a good first impression, and you're going to make your best impression if you mentally are feeling your best and you're most confident. And if you're all sweaty and your hair's all frizzy from the humidity, you may not be feeling your best.
601-995-1017 if you have advice for Felicia. Izzy says, I get you, girl. I don't like most fair rides, so I would get the trepidation from my own bias. But here's the thing. An imperfect first date makes it much easier to sniff out someone's true personality. This would be a great idea because the other person wants to stand out and might have picked the day for a reason. Just go. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work out.
I think she might be worried that it's her true colors that are going to show on this first date, though.
Olivia says, just tell him you want to do something where y'all can talk and get to know each other. So that's good advice, too.
Yeah, I could see that working. Like, hey, fair's super cute. Love that you took initiative, but maybe it'll be a little too crowded, a little too noisy. I won't get to know you.
Ronnie says, it's the fair. He's not expecting you to dress up like you're at a fancy restaurant, which I think is her point. I think she wants to dress up like it's a fancy restaurant.
Yeah, Ronnie, I feel like you're missing the whole thing. She wants to feel her best, and if her version of feeling her best is, when she's all glammed up, she can't do that at the fair.
Hey, Rachel, what's your advice?
God bless Phil for trying to plan a little date. Like, my God. But I get Felicia. I would just be like, I'll be honest, I'm not a fair girl. I don't like the fair. But, like, I'd love to hang out and do, I agree with you.
Movie night at his place, right?
Yes, I'd love to hang out and do XYZ instead, you know?
Emphasis on the X, I would say.
Yes.
I don't think that was exactly what you were saying, Rachel, and I apologize for putting words in your mouth.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying, like, if it's the fair that's the problem, just suggest something else in the fair.
There you go. Thank you for that advice. 601-995-1017 if you have any thoughts.
I still say you keep all those red flags under wraps. You put all the dust under the carpet for right now, and you just tell them, hey, something came up this weekend. Let's reschedule. And then the fair is off the table. And maybe you plan it. You'd be like, hey, I loved your initiative, but let's go to whatever restaurant
well,
you
that's
like.
a good idea, because then what if he went to all the trouble to find another, like, neighboring state fair? It's like, I got a great idea. We're going to Louisiana. Their state fair is next weekend.
Adam and Allison in the morning.